Hi there, it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing a full-on makeup declutter. So I just went through my drawers of makeup and decided today that I was gonna clean things out a bit, things I'm not really using anymore that I already know I don't like, or I haven't used it in years, or it's just plain old and I'm not gonna use it anymore. I think the most interesting stuff is the things that I bought this year that I already know I don't like and I'm not probably going to pick up again. I'll try to differentiate why I am decluttering this stuff. I want to show you my box so you guys have an idea of what you're getting into. So this is my box of stuff, lots of different things. Some of the stuff you'll recognize, some you may not, but that is what we're working with. So just a little disclaimer, I wish I didn't have to say this, but I feel like I should. Just because I am getting rid of something that you like, or it's from a brand that you like, do not take it personally. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to make this a negative video, or that I'm trying to hurt these brands at all. A lot of these brands, I use other stuff. I like something else from their brand. But these products in particular, for whatever reason, I'm not going to be using anymore. And we'll get into the details of that. I think we need to look at each, sort of product individually rather than like across the board, oh, I don't like this brand, don't use it. I don't usually make generalized comments like that anyway, but I just don't want that to be the takeaway from this video. Especially if there is certain trends that you may notice that I don't like many things from a brand. That's not my intention. I do want you to know the stuff that is not working for me, because that may inform your decision whether or not you're gonna buy it or not. But it's all an opinion. It's all a matter of preference. Different things work on different people. So if you love something though and you want to tell me why, I am open to that conversation. You can definitely comment below, like maybe I should try it a different way, or tell me why you really like it. It doesn't mean that I'm going to change my opinion or follow your advice, but maybe for the other folks reading the comments, maybe if you feel like you need to tell us why that product is good, I think the comments are a good place for people to learn about different perspectives. So I am open to that. Just don't come after me just because I don't like something. I think we all have these products in our collection that just are sitting there and not being touched. Let's sort of dig in. This isn't going to be super organized, unfortunately, but I'll try my best to do like categories together. I may miss some stuff, so I apologize in advance, but I did go through my drawers. So I have those like IKEA drawers that everyone has, but I have like little inserts in the drawers that help with organization. So they're like plastic sort of slots for like cutlery or whatever, but I use them for organizing my makeup. And because they're kind of sitting in the drawers and they don't quite fit perfectly, there's not a lot of depth to the drawers, so I can't hold a ton of things. Like I can't hold like giant like loose powders in those drawers at all. It's just they're too big, they're too wide, they're too tall. So space can be a little bit difficult for me. I kind of do have to constantly declutter if I want to keep buying things. So you may see a few of these videos every once in a while. Hopefully I keep buying good stuff so this doesn't have to happen, but I think we all hold on to stuff, especially if you are beauty junkies like me. You just feel like it's hard to let go, especially if you love something at one point and now there's just something else that has replaced it. Let's start with the bigger stuff, the bigger palettes. We'll get those out of the way. I just did a blush video and I realized like I should probably get rid of the stuff I don't like and I don't see myself really using. and I haven't really reached for since I bought it, or it's been a long time. And that applies to Jouer. So I use this, I think, quite a bit. It's just I haven't reached for it in a long time, and I just don't think the Marigold is a good shade for me. I think it's a little too dark, a little bit too shiny, and the combination with this just wasn't what I expected when I got it. I just wish this was a different shade. The formula, now that this is like a couple years old, is a little bit dry. I wish it was a little more buttery of a formula, but it's okay. I think a lot of people know Jouer from their blushes, at least. I mean, now maybe more their concealers, I think, but I think they're well known for their blushes, and I think the packaging's cute. It's just these colors just don't do it for me. I just bought this summer. It's the NYX Sweet Cheeks Glow Blush, creamy powder blush. The texture is really creamy. This is Rose and Play. It's just like a shimmery eyeshadow, essentially. That's what it looks like, a shimmery pink eyeshadow. And it's just way too glowy for a blush for my taste. So even though I just bought it, not gonna use it. I'm not even gonna use it for an eyeshadow. I think it's not that great, so I'm just gonna, it's taking up space. This is a multi-use blush and lip product, again featured in my blush collection video. I got this in Allure beauty box. I don't feel too bad about getting rid of it, even though I've barely used it. This color is just not for me for my lips or cheeks, and I just think it's a really, it's fine for lips to have that amount of coverage, but that's a pretty pigmented, creamy cheek product. Like, you have to go really light hand with it, and I don't know, I just don't love the formula. This is from Butanique Beauty. This is the Peach Blush Butter Lip and Cheek Balm. Definitely doesn't feel that buttery to me. It's a little bit of a very stiff formula. Well, I have a couple complexion products. Let's start with that. I have the e.l.f. just says skin balancing on the back. These are like the Meteorites balls dupe, and this is like a worthless product. Hardly any product came off of these balls, and then what did come off was like super thick chunks of glitter, which was odd because it's not super noticeable that there's glitter in there, but there is. So these are pretty awful. I don't recommend them. I don't even think e.l.f. sells them anymore. I did purchase it this year from Ulta, but definitely not a good product at all. Powder, the Bare Minerals Matte Powder in Fair. This is as an SPF 15, which is great for a powder makeup, but I just didn't like how little coverage I got, even though I kept piling on powder layer after layer. It doesn't do what it says it's supposed to do, which is to be like a foundation. This isn't a finishing powder, it's not a blurring powder, it's supposed to be a foundation. And when you buy a foundation, you expect some coverage pretty quickly and not having to do like 3 layers at least. And that's what I feel like you have to do with Bare Minerals. If you have like perfect skin and you can do a light layer and it mattifies you a little bit with this powder, that's great. It's just I found that my oil came through with this. You definitely need a setting powder on top. So with that many layers plus a setting powder, it just felt very thick and too much. So I haven't used this in a long time. I thought this would be like a weekend makeup kind of thing, like real fast, I'm going out, like just a light coverage, a light layer, but it's not even light. Like, you have to use a lot to get a light coverage, and I just was very surprised and dissatisfied after many years of not trying it, finally trying it. I'm like, I don't get the hype. So not a fan. I also don't like the color. I think it's not fair enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss it. It's taking up room in my drawer. This is kind of a eye primer slash eyeshadow product. This is the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and I like this product, you know, good enough. It's just this is kind of old, it's kind of dried out, and because I use my finger to apply it, and it's just at this point really hard to get product on my finger when it's this low, so I'm gonna just go ahead and toss it. I don't really think there's anything wrong with this product. I have a backup already. It's not really usable anymore, and it's pretty dried out, so I use it as an eye primer. I have some other eye primers open right now, so probably won't open the new one for a while, but just wanted to talk about it. Another complexion product. I've gotten this in a lot of like samples and boxes, and this one looks like a new one. This is the Benefit Watts Up. This is like a creamy highlighter, and I'm just, ooh, even though I haven't used it, this is pretty dry already. Looks like even though it was closed and sealed, I don't know, it's not as creamy as I've had like other stick highlighters in the past. It's just not super blinding, not super impressive, also kind of not the right tone of highlighter for me. It's a little bit too deep and too tan or bronze. So just not my shade. Also not a fan of the formula. This is just a sample, so just gonna toss that one. I'm gonna go ahead and go into a complexion palette. It has eyes and complexion stuff. And I'm really sad to get rid of this, but I think it's about time, and I've still seen it for sale. So if I really want to pick it up again, I can. I don't think I will though. This is the Kevin Aquan Contour Book Volume 2, Art of Sculpting Plus Defining. And there is this is kind of a different cool book, gives you directions on how to contour with the products. Has face highlighting and sculpting, eye shaping and defining. This palette's really beat up, so forgive me. Super dirty. So it comes with a mirror, and it has a couple powder and cream products. And when you mix powder and cream, things get really dirty, really messy, and quite unusable really quickly. So up here are the creams. This is the contour cream, this is the highlighter cream, and they're really dried out. This palette's pretty old. I probably shouldn't put any of this stuff on my face. This is the contour sculpting powder, and this is the candlelit highlighter. I think the highlighter is really subtle. It's not really up to today's standards in terms of highlighters, not very noticeable. The contour powder, the sculpting powder, is a classic among like an OG sort of contour powder. I think some of you may think it's too cool and too deep for you, and I totally get that. But it's not a bad one. It's just a little pricey, I think, for how much you get. But you know, I've certainly hit pan on both, so you can see I got a lot of use out of this palette. These are all eyeshadows at the bottom. These are kind of like the highlighting shades and the contour defining shades. These tones are nice, and these have actually nice finishes to them. It's just these were like super powdery, and I used them up super quickly. Like they just kind of picked up too much product on the brush. But this highlighter Brighten, like the inner corner highlight, was just super bright, which is super surprising when I tried it, like how bright it is. It's like super blinding. It's just, I don't reach for this palette anymore, unfortunately, and this pink Starlight is okay, and these are okay. It's just, I'm not really using anymore. You can see it's pretty old. I don't know that I would recommend it for today's time. I think back then there wasn't a lot of contour palettes out there, and now there's a lot, so I can't say I really recommend this one anymore. I have some little sets and a bigger palette. These are some trios from Model Co. I believe I got both of these from Allure Beauty Boxes, I'm pretty sure. This is Mykonos, and this is Saint Tropez. And I think these are fine from what I remember. I just have never really used them. And I think it's, I don't know if it's the colors. I mean, they look pretty decent. I just don't know how many trios I've ever really used like this. Do you guys use trios? I mean, that doesn't look bad. I just know I've had this for so long and I've never picked it up. So something about it doesn't appeal to me, and I'm not sure this video is gonna change my mind, but it might change yours just looking at these swatches. I mean, that's pretty. That's probably the most appealing shade out of all of these, this one. But I don't think these are shades that aren't in my collection already, to be honest. Even this sort of khaki green one. Next we have a larger palette. This is from NYX. This is the Mystic Petals palette. The Midnight Orchid is the name of the palette, I suppose. And this is clearly a purple palette. I just thought the quality of this was not great. I think this was about 10 bucks. I hauled this summer with a bunch of other NYX things, and you know, I like purple, so I thought, oh, I'll try it out. First of all, the pan sizes, it's really hard to swatch. Like, to get my finger in here and swatch was pretty difficult. I just thought these are not great quality. Not some of them were better than others. These shades, some more pigmented than others. But overall, I know I'm not gonna reach for this just because I have better purples and pinks in my collection. But I thought, you know, I'd give like the affordable, you know, palette a try. I know there's better ones out there that I probably should have picked up, but at the time, NYX, this was a newer palette, so I wanted to give it a whirl. I wish it worked out though. Speaking of popular products, these are from e.l.f. This is Bite Size Eyeshadow. People love these, and I don't really know why. And hopefully this doesn't hurt anyone's feelings. I love how cheap they are. These are $3 each. This is Rose Water, and this is Cream and Sugar. And I don't know if I got the wrong colors, but these were not pigmented at all. I felt like the formula sucked. I just don't get the hype, and because I didn't like these, I'm definitely not encouraged to get any more. I mean, some of these are fine, but this color doesn't really show up on me. And I mean, it's okay. It's not super pigmented. It's not a great formula. I don't know. They just, when the swatches look okay, but when I applied them to my eyes, like I could barely see these, and the tone of this was pretty bad. It's like a deep purple with gold glitter, and I thought it was awful. I'm sorry. I just trying to be honest. This one, I think, just not remarkable. I mean, some of you are gonna be like, oh, that looks good. But on my eyes, like, especially the matte, the light mattes, they just had a hard time showing up. And like, this was not pigmented enough. I think you get what you pay for with them, and yes, maybe they're better quality than you would expect for $3, but to me, not something I'm gonna reach for or use. I mean, these colors to me are not that special, and the formula is not that special. So this next product, I'm actually really sad isn't gonna work for me, but I don't think there's really any way around getting rid of this, because I don't think I can figure out a way to make it work. This is the Gilliam Dempsey Lid Tint. I just got this a couple weeks ago. This is in Lilac, and this is a cream eyeshadow that's way too creamy. It needs to be cream to powder, and it's just cream, and it doesn't dry down. So the more you layer, the more goopy it is. And the reason I was layering, because this color just doesn't show up on me. I'd say I'm pretty fair skinned, and if this doesn't show up for me, like, who is this made for? I tried to put this in the fridge thinking, oh, maybe it melted in the mail. I took it out of the fridge. It was harder, but then sitting out again, it came to the same melty consistency. And this isn't something I want to have to keep in my fridge to be able to use it. This is a no for me. The color is definitely wrong. I'm not sure even if I had a color that showed up, I would like the texture. I think it's just really hard to work with, and just like, it's easy, you can apply it with your finger, one swipe, but it just doesn't dry down, which I didn't understand. Like, nobody wants to have the feeling of heavy, goopy eyelids, even if it is easy to apply. So I was surprised why that this didn't work for me, because it seemed to be a pretty popular product on violet gray. I just can't see how I'm gonna get it to work. This is also from NYX. This is a jumbo eye pencil, and this guy could be pretty. I think it's kind of a weird color for like a highlighter, and it's not really deep enough to be like a regular shimmery shadow. I just think the color is a little off for me, and I don't know, like once you try like the higher end like by Terry or Laura Mercier caviar sticks, it's hard to go to a formula like this. Like, it just doesn't cut it. It doesn't have like the same pretty impact that those sticks have. So while it's fine, it works, I just don't see myself using this again. And this is in Yogurt 611, also a weird name. Yeah, just not a fan of the color. Alright, another sort of shimmery eye product, except this one is really liquidy. This is from Larizzi, Liquid Beam, and this is in the color Topaz, and it's just kind of a straight up gold highlighting product, and in theory it's fine. It's just way too liquidy for my liking. I want something with a little bit more grip and not so slippery. I think this is intended to be for your eyes, and so if something's that liquid, I'm definitely gonna crease even with a primer. So, and like, I don't like sticking liquid, something this liquidy in my inner corner. I just feel like it's gonna get in my eye. I just want something a little harder, and I think it's the formula that bothers me. Pretty sure this came in a Laura Beauty box. You may see a trend that a lot of the stuff I'm getting rid of is from that box, and that's probably because, you know, I'm not hand picking, not hand buying those products. I don't really have a choice what comes, so some of that stuff I may not like so much, especially like some of these shades. Like gold isn't like my favorite highlight shade either. That's also why I probably haven't really used this at all in any eye looks, unfortunately. A couple eyebrow products. These are heavily used and a little bit old, it looks like. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Ash Blonde / Taupe Brow Powder Duo. I'm sure this has been repackaged since this style, but you can see kind of hit hard pan. This is well loved. I don't really use a brow powder anymore. It's just not super convenient. Takes a long time to fill in my brows this way. I have to have a brush separate. I don't know. I'm not loving this. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. But that used to be like the only thing people offered for brows, is like, oh, use an eyeshadow. Not that that's an eyeshadow, but people used to say, oh, you're just using a brown eyeshadow to fill in your brows because we don't have any brow products. I remember at MAC that was recommended to my mom, like, oh, just use this eyeshadow and this pencil, and that's how you fill in your brows. It's like so strange how things have changed, and there's so many eyebrow products now. Another eyebrow product, which is really gross. This is from Essence, the Lash and Brow Clear sort of lash gel or whatever. Gel mascara. I was using it for my brows after I put on like a brow product. So this is why it's nasty, brown, and dirty, because I wasn't cleaning it off before I put it back in. Super gross. For the price, I think this does the trick. It's not like super hard though, like a regular brow gel. It doesn't quite have that hold, but it's cheap. I mean, it's good enough. Also, the brush is pretty big, so you don't have a lot of control where it goes. So not the best quality, but it's not bad. It's just after a while you do get this gross brown gel because it's clear. I have a couple just old beat up used lashes. This is Luna Moon. I think a YouTuber recommended this. This is from Amazon. I don't remember loving these. I think I had a couple pairs I cut up, and yeah, not a fan, not super impressed by these, but they have a lot of different styles if you want to check them out. I got some Huda Beauty ones from Allure Beauty Box. I definitely cut these and they're well used and they look gross and nasty. I think they're way too long, not my style, so getting rid of those. Mascara, I have two. Some of these are a recent purchase, which sucks. This is another Allure mascara I've gotten. This is from Rodile Glamour Lash Mascara XXL Extreme Black Lash Maximizer for amplified volume. I don't really like the brush. I don't like how it applies. It just felt like there's a lot of product on here, but it didn't transfer to my lashes very well. And I think the brush is probably to blame for that. It just, I don't know, the type of brush it is, it just didn't really work for me. And I used it a couple times, and it was, because I was, you know, frustrated with the application, it would like get all over my face, like all over my eyelid. So this is the By Terry Lash Expert Twist Brush Mascara. I got this as a set with their highlighter, liquid highlighter, and I wanted to like it. It has a cool twisting effect. If you turn the end of the brush, it does sort of go from straight to curved, which is very cool and unique. It's just this applicator does not work for me. Again, it's a matter of like transferring the product to my lashes quickly and easily, and it just doesn't do a good job of that. So I'm not a fan of this one either, even though it's not very old. Just gonna go ahead and get rid of it because it's not worth having if I'm not gonna use it. Another eye primer. This is a K-Beauty makeup brand. I believe this is Etude House, and it's called Proof 10 Made in Korea eye primer. And I think the problem with this is kind of weird to have a sponge tip applicator for an eye primer, but I get it. It's just this one was really liquidy and balmy, which I didn't like. I just don't like the texture of it. I don't remember it doing that great of a job, and I stopped using it. And I think it is already expired, so good thing I'm getting rid of it. Full of eyeliners that are old and worn out. I have a Architect waterproof slim liner from LA Splash Cosmetics. I really liked this at first, and then the brush kind of fell apart, and now it's all kind of dried up. And this is a dark brown liquid liner, which I like the color. It's just, you can see how it's all sheared out. It doesn't give you a nice thick line, but also you can see that part of the brush coming out. That's not good. Keeping up its brush. This is another Etude House product. This is a brown eyeliner. I think it was called something line. The name of the product has something line, lash line, something like that. This one is okay. I just haven't been reaching for it, and I don't love how like flexible the brush is. I need a little bit more stiffness. And I don't think the formula is a little bit old now. I mean, I could still make it work. I just don't think it's worth keeping. This is Milk Makeup eyeliner. So the long wearing gel liner. And this is in BCC. And the reason I got this one is because Mel Thompson like swears by it for like the lower waterline. And it's basically a nude pencil, but I could not get it to work for me, and I ended up using like a ton of thick layer on my eye and it just wouldn't stay. And it's a nude color right there, and this is all I have left, which tells me I used a lot of product but not that many times. Like, I barely use this, so not for me. This is actually a new eyeliner from the September Allure Beauty box. This one is from Cleo Noir. This is purple, and just doing a couple swatches, like this is not a, looks like a deep purple and then it comes out like this color. Not a fan. It's just, oops, just broke off. It's just not deep enough, and you have to go over the same area many times to get the amount of coverage that you want. So it doesn't look like a good quality pencil, even though this is like way more than like $15 or something, you know, more than most drugstore eyeliners, but the quality you can see is just not there. A couple of perfumes. Some of you may hate me for this. Clinique perfume. I have some samples. I think my mom made some orders and they give you like free stuff all the time. I have Clinique Happy Heart, and Clinique Happy in Bloom. I'm not really a huge fan of the Clinique Happy series. I forgot to do a perfume of the day. Well, this will be my perfume of the day. Clinique Happy. It does remind me of like my younger years and smelling the scent, like junior high. It's not bad. I mean, you love it or you hate it. I'm just, it's not my preference. I'm gonna smell real bad today. Clinique Happy Heart is a little bit better. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter these because I'm not gonna use them. Let's look at In Bloom. That one's okay. I don't know. I don't like any of them. Alright, next category, which there's quite a few products, and then that will be it. This is the lip section, and I have quite a few older products, a couple new ones, mostly old. Just stuff I know I'm not going to continue to use. Some of it's color, some of it I just don't like the formula. Let's start off with lip balm. I know this guy a lot of people bought when it came out, I think last year, maybe the year before. This is the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. This is the pear scent. It's just a clear lip gloss essentially, and I think a lot of people went for it because they thought this was going to be like the Laneige like overnight lip balms that come in a pot, and this is not that formula. I think people wish that it was, but this is just a clear lip balm. Actually, it's slightly green, but it shows up clear. They do have different scents and flavors. It smells like Jolly Rancher, like apple, not pear, to me. It's really kind of sticky. I just didn't love the formula. I wasn't impressed by it. It's fine. You can definitely, I'm sure a lot of you enjoy it. I just haven't used it forever, and I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it because I thought that was one of those overhyped products that's not worth the price of a smelly lip gloss that like your teenage daughter or friend or whatever would wear. A similar product, well, sort of similar too, but this is Lanolips tinted lip balm in Perfect Nude, and this is made of sheep oil, lanolin. And I remember when I first started using like the regular ointment balm, not the lip gloss, that really irritated my lips, and then eventually I got used to it, and so I'm fine with this. It's just kind of a messy applicator and goopy formula. Like, I just don't reach for it anymore, and like it way too much comes out when you squeeze it. Like, the hole is too big, and it's just, I don't know if it's just the nature of the lanolin. I think that's what it is. It's just super sticky, and just, you know, it's fine on the lips. I think people will be okay with it. I'm just not a big fan of the formula, and lanolin is pretty irritating to a lot of people, so I don't really recommend I just don't recommend it. I don't recommend lanolin just because of the high risk of irritation. Indeed, Hyaluron Volumizing Lip Treatment. And I got this to kind of get free shipping or something like that, or to meet a requirement. And I think this was kind of pricey. I think it was like $10. And it's from Indeed Labs. I don't notice any volumizing effect, but also when I squeeze the tube, that happens. That didn't happen in the beginning, and I don't know if because there's more air in the tube now, but like every time I use it, the cap comes off. And I don't think I broke anything. I think it's just poor design. So I don't like this landing on my lips and sticking. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. I think it's not a very impressive balm. I don't know that it volumizes my lips at all, and it doesn't seem to work properly. We're getting into lip color now. So I have a few liquid products and a few bullets. Let's get into the bullets first. This I believe I got for free with my order. This is from Delium Tools, and this is the matte lipstick Scarlet O. So I bought a bunch of brushes. I really love the packaging, the magnetic cap. It's a sturdy lipstick, very cute, but not my color. It's a very bold orange. Yeah, just not my thing. So it's pretty dusty, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. That means I'm probably not gonna use it. I think this is kind of a lip sample. This is a mini. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Not sure they're really known for their lip stuff. This is the Kiss matte lipstick, and I think this is just a boring nude that I'm not gonna use. I know some of you may like that color. Not really exciting to me. This is another mini from YSL, some sort of sample I got a long time ago. This is a Rouge Pure Couture. I can't really read the name of the shade, but it's actually pretty creamy, satiny. Not bad. I'm just not into red lipstick, and I'm not sure how old that is. I think I got this year. This is the Cargo Cosmetics Kyoto. I'm not sure the formula, but it's a very pink lipstick. Not really my color, very bold. It's not like a sheer bomb or anything. It's a lipstick, and I don't know, I just don't think it's my color, especially in a lipstick formula. Alright, on to the liquids. This one I'm mostly getting rid of because it's pretty old. This is the Etude House Dear Darling Lip Tint, and I'm not sure the color. Berry-like, and it's got a sponge tip applicator, and it's just a sheer tint, and it's pretty nice. I just think it's probably pretty expired by now, and I just haven't been reaching for it. But I don't mind the color, I don't mind the formula, although look how much product is in the cap. Yikes. This one, I know I don't like the color or the formula. This is the Huda Beauty Liquid Matte. and this is alluring, and this definitely came in an Allure beauty box, and this is very orange red. Some of you are all about that. I'm definitely not. I don't really love most liquid lipsticks, and I think this dried down very hard, so not my thing. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Trust Issues liquid lipstick. It looks, you know, like a dark berry, but it is very dark. Like, I think most people don't want something that dark, and I think I got this part of a beauty box. Definitely surprised by the shade choice they gave. That is like super dark on me, not something I would regularly wear, if ever. Also, not a fan of the formula. This I actually got this year. I was disappointed. I don't think I'll be picking up this formula again. This is the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Beijing. I thought it's hard to find colors online, and I definitely made a mistake with this one, but I think the formula is just not what I thought I remembered it to be, and I don't like the shade of pink, and it's very matte, not see-through. So tossing that one. Whew, and that is it for my makeup declutter. That took a little while, took a minute or two to go through all those products, but I'm glad I talked through all of them with you, because I think I'm definitely convinced that I should get rid of this stuff and free some space on my vanity and in my drawers. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts below if you agree or disagree with any of my choices to get rid of these makeup products. Happy to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Please click like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.